Hello everyone, it's me, Nikki, and today I'm here to talk about the Blue Lantern Corps. Yay! They are from DC Comics, and they're part of the Green Lantern mythos, and I love them, and I'm going to tell you all about them. But first, I have to tell you about the Green Lanterns. So our first Green Lantern was Alan, let me make sure I'm on the right side, yeah, Alan Scott. I will be putting pictures up. And he was in the golden age of comics from like the 40s to the 50s, it looks here on the Wikipedia. And he was called the Green Lantern, and he had like green and a lantern, but it was different than the current ones. He has been revamped. He's in, with the new 52. He is from Earth 2, and he is gay, so that's cool. And I don't know a lot about him. Sorry. Next we have our Silver Age Green Lantern, who's probably one of the most famous ones, and that is Hal Jordan. He was in the movie with Ryan Reynolds. And the ring changes, and so do the, like, I think with Alan it was just, if there was more they didn't tell you, but there are Green Lanterns. They are an intergalactic police force, basically. They're broken up into sectors, and there's like 2 in each sector except for Earth, because Earth is fucked up. And the ring, he gets it from, I think, I'm not sure if they retconned it at some point, but from what I remember, he gets it from a Green Lantern called Abin Sur, like, because he crashes, and then Hal finds him, and he's like, oh, here, have the ring. And I don't think they have, I think they just gets the ring at, and there's not a lot of, it doesn't really tell you what the ring is about, if that makes sense. And he wears a mask, so I think only his friends in the Justice League know who he is, but nobody else does. He has a girlfriend, Carol, who is important. And then after him, because some stuff happens and he sort of gets kicked out, and we get Guy Gardner and Jon Stewart, who was in the animated Justice League. So people might know him more. Jon Stewart is black, so he's the, it says here he's the second African American superhero, and he's the first black Green Lantern. And neither Guy nor John wear masks, so everybody knows who they are. And then some more shenanigans happen, and you get Kyle. And he was the youngest at the time. He wears a mask. He was an author? Or no, an artist. He might still be. And I think the term fridging comes from him because he found his girlfriend in a fridge. I think that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure. But how you get Kyle is the rest of the Green Lanterns are fucked. And so they're like, hey, you're a Green Lantern. And then, so there's those 4, but there's also Simon Baz, who is a Lebanese American. Who I don't know a lot about, and Jessica Cruz, who is the first female Green Lantern, and also the first Latina Green Lantern, I believe. So Earth has 6 Green Lanterns. And I don't know a lot about Jessica either. So, I know, this is complicated, but bear with me. So jumping back to our main 4, because these are the ones I do know about, and they are what I've read about. Okay. So at some point in all of this, timeline, specifically I believe with Hal, Jon, and Guy, so before Kyle. His girlfriend Carol becomes a star sapphire, which is the violet lanterns. So a new color is introduced. And then also at some point, I'm not 100% sure when, but this is how you get Kyle. Another color is introduced, yellow, which is used by Sinestro, because they're called the Sinestro Corps, and I think that's sort of when the colors become emotions. So green is willpower, and I had I found on Wikipedia one time, it's like a color line. So green's in the middle, and it's willpower, and if you go this way, there is yellow, which is fear. So that your green is weak to yellow because your fear overpowers your willpower. And then violet is somewhere down here, and violet is love. Okay. So I think those were like some of the few colors. And then at some other point you get red, which is rage. And then blue, which is hope. And I'm not sure when all those are popped in. But, so all of that happens, and then all the Green Lanterns come back. The Sinestro thing happens, and then there's the event Blackest Night, which I've talked about, how I fell in love with Wonder Woman. So you have all these colors, and also at some point orange was introduced, and orange is greed, so there's only one of him, and I love, he's supposed to be really creepy, but I love him. And you're also introduced in the Blackest Night event to Indigo, which is compassion. But you find out later that it's like a forced compassion. Like a compassionate person cannot become an Indigo Lantern. It's usually a super villain or a murderer that is forced to put the Indigo ring on and get compassion. So it's almost like a color wheel as well, because violet and red are right there, because rage and love are pretty close, and violet, hope, compassion, love all sort of go together, and then fear, greed, and rage. It's really cool. I wish I could find that. I've been looking for it. I haven't. So now that you have sort of that backstory, I've got some more. The Green Lanterns are run by these little blue aliens called the Guardians of the Universe. They're not great from what I remember reading. Like, they're really uppity, and they're immortal and the oldest living beings, so they think they know it all. So at some point, Ganthet and his wife Sade, I believe is how you say it, they're like, the Green Lanterns are bullshit. So they go off and they make the Blue Lantern Corps. But then they have to leave for their own reasons. So because old Green Lanterns made the blue ring, and there also are like there's like embodiments of hope and rage that are out there floating in the universe. So it's kind of weird. But anyway, they make it, and on its own, hope isn't very strong. Because the other rings it gives you like flight. Let me see what Hal can do. I can't remember everything. Yeah, flight, a force field. You can generate hard light constructs. So like you think of a hammer, and the hammer comes out of your ring. And it also translates languages. But the hope ring Doesn't really do that. It heals people, and I think there's flight, but not much else unless they're around a Green Lantern, which is willpower. So your willpower powers up your hope, enabling them to do more things. And likewise, a Green Lantern can become more powerful with the help of a blue. But it's also why Green Lanterns are so weak to yellow, because Sinestro used to be a green, so he knows all their weaknesses. But anyway, so the Blackest Night, it's when because I was just reading Green Lanterns and, looking it up on Wikipedia, and I'm like, ooh, Blackest Night, I'll read it. And that's when you get your Blue Lantern, which is given to Barry Allen, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I was just like, oh. And I don't know if you can tell, but I really like the color blue. So that's what got me, right? And then I learned more about them. And I was like, oh my gosh. They're so, it's like, I don't know, I love them. The Blue Lanterns are very small. Even at their height, I think they only had a handful of members. Let me see the other one. Yeah, they only had like a handful of members. Because Hope is... Like, there's a lot of Green Lanterns because a lot of people have willpower. There's a lot of red and yellow and violet because people have a lot of rage and the ability to instill fear and a lot of love. Greed only has one because that's greed. And compassion, like I said, they force it on you. And other rings, like specifically the green one, the rings are kept in like a little vault or something, and then if the rings sense that someone has a lot of willpower, it just shoots off through the galaxy till it finds someone. The Blue Lanterns don't work like that. The little group of them sort of go around and find other people with hope, and that's how you get the ring. But according to the DC fandom wiki, at the moment, there's only one, and it's St. Walker. It looks like the rest of them got destroyed, and no Wikipedia page is telling me, like, if they get to be any more. St. Walker is it. And he actually loses his hope because he learns about the death, but he regains it, and, becomes the only Blue Lantern, which is so sad for me. Ugh, it is so sad for me. And I don't know if it was St. Walker or if it was St. Walker and somebody else. There was a sun that was going to die, like suns do, but there was a planet that had people on it, and St. Walker used the hope of those people to restore the sun. So I'm just saying, I like the idea that there is a blue group and that hope is this tiny little thing, but, it's really powerful if put in the right hands. I just think it's so amazing. I don't think they have their own book. I think they're just part of the Green Lantern thingy. So, yeah. There's also, like, Kyle was at one point a Green Lantern, but, now he's a White Lantern, which is a whole other thing. And each corps has their own oath. Like the green one is in brightest day and blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worships evil might beware my power. Green Lantern's light. So in brightest day, blackest night. Those are the two crossover things. Oh, and I forgot to mention, these are part of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum, which is something they've made up. I think I got all the colors. Violet is more, it's violet. Indigo looks more purple and violet looks more pink, but whatever. That's what they go with. So, yeah, and then the blue one. So the Red Lantern is about rage and burning, because they do like spitting attacks with plasma or something. The Orange Lantern, it is just Larfleeze, who is a whole other topic. And his constructs are things he collects. He likes to have the only such and such. I don't remember his. Sinestro's is, again, blackest day, brightest night, fears. It's basically based around him. And here we go. Let's see. Indigo is about, it's in a different language, but it does have a bin sur in it, and I do remember he had something to do with it, but I can't remember what. And then the Star Sapphires are again, I think they were supposed to be the female guardians at some point, but I think that has been turned around, and I think the Star Sapphire is specifically made up of only women, if I remember correctly. And again, I love them because Wonder Woman became a Star Sapphire, but the Blue Lanterns captured my attention because of the color, and then because of what they stood for. So this is their oath. In fearful day and raging night, with strong hearts full, our souls ignite. When all seems lost in the war of light, look to the stars, for hope burns bright. They're just so cool. I think all the cores are cool, obviously, but I don't know, there's something about it. It's because, like, when you think about it, in the DC universe, right, there's a whole galaxy, a whole solar system or universe, and there's only one Blue Lantern now, Hope. And like, how that's true on Earth, there's not a lot of hope, you know. I just think it's sad and it's awesome at the same time that, I don't know, I can't like really articulate why I think they're cool besides the color. I don't know. I kind of wish they could have the rings sort of fly off and find somebody, but I don't think Hope works. Hope doesn't work like that. I don't think that's why there's only a handful. A lot of people aren't innately hopeful, no matter what species you are. So yeah, and I just think they're really cool. They're really cool. And Barry, yeah, it was Barry in the Flash, became a Deputy Blue Lantern, because he's full of hope, but he doesn't get to keep it, which sucks. But he can't be like the Blue Flash, which would have been cool. I don't know, they're just cool to me. Or they're interesting. They're very interesting to me. Like, because I feel like more people on Earth should have hope in the DC universe, considering all the superheroes they have. They have 6 Green Lanterns, for fuck's sake. 2 the Sector, when there's usually 2. They have Superman, Why would you be afraid of anything when you have Superman and Wonder Woman? Of course you should be filled with hope, but I understand why they're not. And I believe that, you know, the hope can restart a sun, but like, it can be taken away. As you saw, St. Walker got it taken away because he was sad that his friends died. But yeah, it's just sad that that's the only one. And I wish I knew, because even the blanket Wikipedia page says St. Walker's the last Blue Lantern. He gets kidnapped by Sinestro, who wants to supercharge the yellow rings. And he's still there with them. So I'm not sure how hope and fear are going to work together, but okay. So yeah, you know, if there's any, like, issues I should read or something, let me know, because I gotta know more. I've gotta know more. I just love them. And some of the, I think in some of the pictures you'll see, what's his name? His name is Brother Warth. He's an elephant-like alien who bears a strong resemblance to Ganesh, the Hindu god. And it looks... Oh, and I forgot this. So Gantha and Sade recruited each other, and then they recruited Walker, who recruited Warth, who recruits the next guy, and so that's how they do it, and that's how they pick them. And a lot of them, I think, there's brothers and sisters, so they're, and saints, so it's like religious-y, which seems strange, but cool as well. And it doesn't say here that Brother Warth is deceased when it does for the rest of them. Maybe they can't do that because he looks like Ganesh, and that would be, like, really, really bad. I'm not sure why it doesn't say that. Yeah, so those are the Blue Lanterns. I don't think I was as concise and explanatory as I really wanted to be. But I love them, and I would love to know what St. Walker is up to. You know what I mean? Because, I just feel so bad for them. But I also love them, and I want to be one. And I know you can get Blue Lantern rings online, even from Amazon, so I might have to look into that, just because. Like, I mean, I got this shirt. I love this shirt. You gotta project hope out there in the world, you know, in the universe. So that was my long rambling video about something else that I love. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was educational or maybe made you interested. If not, thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.